This public hearing is for Council Order 2025-062, Utility Grant of Location, Mass Electric Verizon, Southern Artery at Pond Street and Brackett Street. So at this point, I'd ask anybody wishing to speak in favor or opposition to come to the podium, state your name and address if you do not wish to speak. But you'd like your support or opposition recorded, please sign in on the sheet on the table at the back of the chamber. So seeing Scott, do you want to say? No, okay, all right. So seeing none, I'd like to close the public hearing at 6:31. Good evening again. Welcome back. I'd like to call the Monday, May 19th, 6:35 public hearing to order. This public hearing is for Council Order 2025-065, Utility Grant of Location, National Grid, Thomas Bergen Parkway, Quincy Street, and Federal Ave. At this point, I'd like to ask anybody wishing to speak in favor or opposition to come to the podium, state your name and address. If you do not wish to speak, but would like your support or opposition recorded, please sign in on the sheet on the table at the back of the chamber. So anybody want to speak in favor or against? Seeing no further public comment, I'll close the public hearing at 6:36, and we'll be back at 6:40 for the next public hearing. Thank you. Okay, we're back. I'd like to call the Monday, May 19th, 6:40 public hearing to order. This public hearing is for Council Order 2025-066, Utility Grant of Location, Mass Electric, Verizon, Huckins Ave. So at this point, I'd ask anybody wishing to speak in favor or opposition to come to the podium, state your name and address. If you do not wish to speak, but would like your support or opposition recorded, please sign in on the sheet on the table at the back of the chamber. So anybody would like to speak in favor or against? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to end this public hearing at 6:41, and we'll be back in 4 more minutes for the final public hearing at 6:45. Thank you. Okay, I'd like to, for the final public hearing this evening, I'd like to call the Monday, May 19th, 6:45 public hearing to order. This public hearing is for Council Order 2025-067, Utility Grant of Location, Mass Electric, Hobart Street. So at this point, I'd like to ask anybody wishing to speak in favor or opposition to come to the podium, state your name and address. If you do not wish to speak, but would like your support or opposition recorded, please sign in on the sheet at the back of the chamber. So seeing that nobody's approaching the podium, I'm going to close this public hearing at 6:46. We'll be back in 4 minutes for the regular council meeting at 6:50. Thank you very much.
Good. Good evening and welcome to the Monday, May 19th, 2025 City Council meeting. We call this meeting to order. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Ash. Councilor Campbell. Councilor Devine. Councilor DeBona. Councilor Harris. Councilor Yang. Councilor McCarthy. Councilor Minton. President Kane.
Present.
9 members.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Would everyone please stand and observe a moment of silence? Please use this moment as you will. Please turn to the flag for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Clerk, please read the open meeting law.
Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made, whether perceived or unperceived, by those present and are deemed acknowledged and permissible.
Thank you very much. Mr. Clerk, first item on the agenda.
First item on the agenda is the honoring of the first responders. Council McCarthy.
President recognizes Council McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm going to have Chief Jackson come up. I'm also going to go up. This is a good night for citations when you hear this story. And Joe will be talking both in regards to police and fire, and then we'll have the fire and the police up there. We're at this, call it episode down in Howe's Neck back in April. Come up and we'll read some citations. So I'll go up there now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Evening, Council President, evening, councilors, and everyone. Thank you for having us. Did you want me to just read this? All right, so I've been asked to read the report from Officer Stephen Kelly, number 61332, Lieutenant Michael Duran. This is from the call at 82 Winthrop Street on April 15th of 2025. Sir, on April 15th, 2025, I was assigned to the 780 cruiser on the day shift. At 08:54 hours, myself and 781 Officer John Lupta were dispatched to 82 Winthrop Street on report of a woman in labor. Upon my arrival, I could hear a woman screaming on the second floor at the front of the house. I knocked on the door and after a minute was met by a woman who pointed for me to go upstairs. The Quincy Fire Department had arrived on scene and followed me upstairs, where we found a female on the floor in the front of the room. Myself and QFD Lieutenant knelt down to assess the situation and communicate with the female. I then switched places with one of the firefighters, and a few minutes later, the baby was born and held by QFD Lieutenant. Officer Jay Lupti had arrived on scene and assisted with the firefighters and the Brewster ambulance personnel who had arrived on scene. The Brewster ambulance personnel then assisted in the delivery of the placenta. The child delivered was a baby boy who was then transported to the hospital with his mother. So that's the end of the report. So, yeah, nice story, nice story. Good to see red and blue working together to bring a new life into the world. So, yeah.
Yeah, this was brought to my attention, and I spoke with both Chief Kennedy, who couldn't be here tonight, and with Chief Jackson, and wanted to bring up a real good story about a quick response by Quincy Police, a quick response by Quincy Fire, a quick response also by Brewster. And they showed up right after everything had gone down, and I felt it was a real good story every once in a while to show how these first responders know what they're doing out there, how they jump in and get the job done. So I have a few citations that I'll give out. I'm going to read one because they're all written up the same, and then I'll have the individuals come up, and I'll start first with Steve Kelly. Before he comes up, I'll read this, and then I'll have everybody kind of flow right up here. This is on behalf of the City Council. This citation: we extend our heartfelt gratitude for your dedication, responding with exceptional professionalism, composure, and compassion during a life-changing emergency in Howe's Neck on April 15, 2025. Thanks to your swift and skillful response, a healthy baby boy, was safely delivered under urgent circumstances. Their actions exemplify the very best of public service, courage, teamwork, and unwavering commitment to the well-being of the community. What could have been a stressful and uncertain moment became one of joy and celebration, made possible by the calm expertise and dedication of our first responders. We proudly recognize their outstanding service and heroic efforts in this extraordinary moment of life and community care. And this is signed by myself as the ward councilor and also on behalf of the rest of the council. So Steve Kelly's our first recipient. I'd like to have a big round of applause for Steve. I also have one of Howe's Neck's finest. He lives down here and takes care of things. Officer John Leuchter. Also, and the chief can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that firefighter Liam Ball and firefighter Matt J. are newbies to the force, so they were thrown right into the fire. And,
Proverbial fire.
yes, and that woke them up, and they did a great job. But Liam Ball, if Liam could come up. And also Matt J. Matt?
Good story.
And finally, Dave DeYoung, who was lieutenant, who led them down there and did a superb job. I want to recognize him also. Thank you. Yeah, it's just, I mean, we're always up here talking about fire and police, and I know everybody up here supports them. I know the city does also, but it's great when you get a story where that brings a lot of smiles to faces when that was over that night, both the police, fire, and to the family. Also, in regards to the family, I visited the family last Thursday, and the baby's doing good. They couldn't make it tonight, but they wanted to send their thanks and want to congratulate all these guys for the job they do. They were overwhelmed with what happened, and they thought it was tremendous of what Quincy Police and Fire did. So with that, I will say thank you again, and thank you very much.
Sure. Counselor, do you want to take a picture with them in the well?
Sure.
All right. Can you guys all come back up and we'll take a brief recess for a photo opportunity? Thank you. Okay, we're back. Mr. Clerk,
Sure.
next item on the agenda, please.
Sure, the first item on the agenda is 2025-068. It's an order amending Housing Development Zone and Plan, HDIP.
Motion to move to ordinance from Councilor Liang. Do I have a second? Second from Councilor Campbell. On the motion, all those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you. Mr. Clerk, next item.
Number two, 2025-069, a resolution urging passage of Bill H3546 and Senate Bill S2285 to implement one-touch make-ready OTMR in Massachusetts.
Thank you very much, Mr. Clerk. So,
Motion to approve?
oh, that's great. Thanks. I was going to tell people what this is on the motion.
Go right on.
Thank you. So as people very well know, over the last 7 years, we've been working on a project to advance a citywide fiber optic network here in the city of Quincy. We're at advanced stages in that process, which is great. We currently have a piece of legislation that the city council passed a couple months ago in order to govern a revenue bond that will finance this project, which are based on the subscribers that will commit to this project going forward. There's also a community-oriented, sales process that will start at some time in the near future. These two bills that have been submitted in the State House, both House Bill 3546 and Senate Bill 2285, these were brought to my attention by the president of the Wollaston Hill Neighborhood Association, Walter Hubley, who's here tonight. He wrote the city council a letter informing us of these two bills, which part of this process when we do roll out the construction of the municipal fiber network will be in getting the right of way and the access way to either hang lines on poles that you see across the city. It's a very complicated process when the city doesn't own all these poles. They're owned by the likes of Verizon and National Grid. These two bills will make that process easier. So what the process is called is a one-touch make-ready process. So if adopted, this policy would streamline the pole attachment process, so the direct fiber attachment process to those poles, by allowing the necessary preparatory work to be completed in a single crew visit as opposed to multiple visits, which would significantly reduce deployment time and cost. So, I appreciate Mr. Hubley bringing this to our attention. This is something that I hope my colleagues will support. I appreciate Councilor McCarthy for the motion to approve. If we have a second on this, seconded by Councilor Devine. On the motion, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Ash. Yes. Councilor Campbell. Yes. Councilor Devine. Yes. Councilor DeBona.
Yes.
Councilor Harris. Yes. Councilor Liang.
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy.
Yes.
Councilor Mitten.
Yes.
President Kane.
Yes.
9 members.
Thank you very much. So this will go to our state delegation, and a copy will be sent to the governor of Massachusetts and the chairs of the Joint Committee on Telecommunications, Utilities, and Energy, showing our support. So thank you to my colleagues. Thanks, Ken Walter. All right, Mr. Clerk, next item, please.
Next item is 2025-070. It's a gift, $2,000 from various donors to DARE.
Motion to approve?
Motion approved made by Councilor DeBona, seconded by Councilor Liang. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Sure. Councilor Ash. Yes. Councilor Campbell. Yes. Councilor Devine. Yes. Councilor DeBona.
Yes.
Councilor Harris. Yes. Councilor Liang. Yes. Councilor McCarthy.
Yes.
Councilor Mitten. Yes. President Kane.
Yes.
9 members.
Thank you. That concludes our regularly scheduled agenda. Approval of previous meeting minutes. Motion to approve made by Councilor DeBona, seconded by Councilor Liang. All those in favor? Those opposed? Ayes have it. Communications.
Yes, we have 3 communications, Mr. President. We have Ward 2 added handicap parking at 32 Lawrence Street. Ward 4 add no parking to the odd side of Bunker Hill Lane from Willard Street to West Street. And Ward 6 added handicap parking at 18 Webster Street. Those are the communications.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Unfinished business and preceding meeting. Seeing none. Reports of committees. I will first recognize Chair Liang. Ordinance.
I have 2 traffics, one out of Ward 5, 2025-063, add stop sign at Clay Street at Hancock Street. Positive recommendation out of committee.
Positive recommendation made by Councilor Liang, seconded by Councilor Campbell. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Ash. Councilor Campbell. Yes. Councilor Devine. Yes. Councilor DeBona.
Yes.
Councilor Harris. Yes. Councilor Liang.
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy.
Yes.
Councilor Mitten. Yes. President Kane.
Yes.
9 members.
Okay, and then the last one is out of Ward 6, 2025-064, add handicap parking at 16 North Bayfield Road. Positive recommendation out of committee.
Positive recommendation and a motion approved made by Councilor Liang, seconded by Councilor Campbell. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Sure. Councilor Ash. Councilor Campbell. Yes. Councilor Devine. Yes. Councilor DeBona.
Yes.
Councilor Harris. Yes. Councilor Liang.
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy. Yes. Councilor Mitten. Yes. President Kane.
Yes.
9 members.
Thank you, Madam Chair. President recognizes Chair Harris.
Thank you. So this evening, we held a public hearing for City Council Order 2025-062, utility grant of location, Mass Electric, Verizon Southern Artery at Pond Street. Positive recommendation from the Public Works Committee.
Positive recommendation made by Chair Harris, seconded by Councilor McCarthy. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Ash. Yes. Councilor Campbell. Yes. Councilor Devine. Yes. Councilor DeBona.
Yes.
Councilor Harris.
Yes.
Councilor Liang. Yes. Councilor McCarthy.
Yes.
Councilor Mitten. Yes. President Kane.
Yes.
2025-065, utility grant location, National Grid, Thomas Bergen Parkway, Quincy Street, Federal Ave. Positive recommendation from the Public Works Committee. Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Counselor Harris, seconded by Counselor McCarthy. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Ash? Yes. Counselor Campbell? Counselor Devine? Counselor DeBona?
Yes.
Counselor Harris?
Yes.
Counselor Liang? Counselor McCarthy?
Yes.
Counselor Minton? President Kane?
Yes.
2025-066, utility grant location, Mass Electric, Verizon, Huckins Ave. Positive recommendation from the Public Works Committee. Motion to approve.
Motion approved made by Counselor Harris, seconded by Counselor McCarthy. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Ash? Yes. Counselor Campbell? Yes. Counselor Devine? Counselor DeBona?
Yes.
Counselor Harris?
Yes.
Counselor Liang? Counselor McCarthy?
Yes.
Counselor Minton? President Kane?
Yes.
And the final one, 2025-067, utility grant location, Mass Electric, Hobart Street. Positive recommendation from the Public Works Committee. Motion to approve.
Motion approved made by Counselor Harris, seconded by Counselor McCarthy. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Ash? Yes. Counselor Campbell? Yes. Counselor Devine? Yes. Counselor DeBona?
Yes.
Counselor Harris?
Yes.
Counselor Liang? Counselor McCarthy?
Yes.
Counselor Minton? President
Thank
Kane?
you. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
President recognizes Chair, Finance Chair McCarthy. You're on. Oh. No? We're good?
No, I'm not.
We're good? Okay.
I'm good, yeah, I'm good.
All right, thank you.
I thought it was,
Something else. You're faking me out.
No? No? We took care of everything on the last Finance Committee meeting? Yes. Okay. All right, great. Presentation of petitions, memorials, and remonstrance. President recognizes Counselor Ash.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to go on the record and use this time to pay tribute and memorialize Mary Pico, maiden name Kerens. Mary was born, raised, and lived in Quincy Point for her entire life. She unfortunately passed away at Mass General Hospital on Tuesday, May 13th, at the age of 62. She's the beloved wife of Stephen Pico, and a cherished daughter, wife, sister-in-law, aunt, and loyal friend, remembered for her humor and warmth. Many may remember or know Mary from working both at Quincy Savings Bank and Quincy Credit Union, and then later on at Quincy Driving School, Quincy Auto, until she retired. Her obituary reads that Mary and Steve were high school sweethearts, devoted to each other for over 40 years. Together, they shared many joyful years, often enjoying time at the beach, one of her favorite places. They loved traveling, especially to their West Palm Beach, Florida condo. Mary will be remembered especially by her 8 childhood girlfriends who will miss her dearly and treasure their fond memories. She's survived by her sisters, Anne and husband Doug, Margaret and husband Vernon, and Kathleen and husband Jeffrey. Predeceased by her brother, Patrick Kerens. She was a vital part of her extended Pico family, Leonard and Carrie of Randolph, David and Jerry of Quincy, and Mark and Diane of Cohasset. A wake will be held Thursday from 4 to 7 at Cohane Funeral Home, 785 785 Hancock Street. Funeral Mass, Friday, 10 a.m. at St. Joseph's. And this further reads, the family would like to thank the nurses and staff at MGH for their exceptional care and compassion. I have known Mary most of my life. She had an infectious smile, great sense of humor, and that is shared, I know, not only by myself, but everyone who knew her. So certainly my condolences to her husband, her lifelong friends, and her family. Again, services Thursday and Friday. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor Ash. Okay. President recognizes Counselor DeBona.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just want to thank the new animal shelter opened on May 10th. It's a beautiful facility, just dating back since 2017, being on the original council. It's 8 years later, and we finally got it opened. Just want to say thank you to everyone that was involved in this integral part of the city. If you haven't had a chance to visit, it's a beautiful facility. It has a surgery room, the Quincy Police Department's K-9 units in there. And on the open house that we had on Saturday, May 10th, there was quite a bit of folks visiting and going through and walking the grounds. So just want to say it's a great addition to the city, and want to thank the community for being involved and getting through this. It's a huge upgrade from the old one on Broad Street. So just kudos to everybody involved in this, and just wanted to let everyone know that I know we have a lot of animal lovers out there, dogs and cats and rabbits, and this is a great addition to the city. Just want to let everybody know, thank you.
Thank you, Councilor DeBona. Motions, orders, and resolutions. Seeing none, scheduling of committee meetings and public hearings. Our next regularly scheduled city council meeting is Monday, June 2 at 6:30 PM. Be there or be square. Motion to adjourn made by Councilor Lang. All those in favor? Those opposed? Meeting adjourned at 7:11.